Hello? You're still here. Thank you very much. I need a bit of shake, of course, after what we have just heard. My story will be a bit different, but for you to frame, so as I told, similarly as Ladislav, I actually come from Slovakia, lived in a couple of countries. I went to banking. I was heading a digital division of a Dutch bank. And then I also figured, you know what, let's use this money and tech that I know of for something that makes sense to me, and that's the environment. An environment, because if environment is not fixed, the people will suffer. So it's quite a big goal. Yeah, we have the slide. So the talk today is about impact investing and sharing some right stories that happened in Ghana this year. I have the clicker. Do you know this guy? Do you know who this is? Who knows? MacGyver. Oh my gosh, so many people don't know him. He was awesome. It was a series when I was growing up, maybe 20 years ago. And the guy, there was a joke in Slovakia who could make a bomb out of excrements. So he was very skilled, and that's how I like to think about myself. So going back to my problem, right, being in banking and stuff before, I thought, wait, we have a problem. We have a problem we all are dealing with. And I'm a business person, so I believe it's the biggest opportunity we have had at the same time. And I felt, well, let me try to crack that. So we started Mission C, and our sole mission, we have always held it, is to accelerate the transition to sustainable world, sustainable business through circular economy. I will talk about it. Now we know that, of course, the life in developing countries is a little bit different than we have, right? We're so used to our comfort. It's something very different in other parts of the world, where actually some of the biggest environmental problems, CO2 emissions and materials, are coming from. So I figured this year, why don't go to Ghana? Now, Ghana is a super cool country. It was the first African country to gain independence in '57. And I thought, man, I'm going to have a blast. Right? Because I have this business mantra, we know circular economy, very powerful tool to change the climate, to change how we use materials. And if we dig less materials from the earth, from everything that we are spending, we'll save a lot of CO2. So let's go to Ghana and have a look how it works. So day one in Ghana, everybody, I think I was introduced as the person who loves the mountain as the beach, and it's true. So I went straight to the beach, half an hour into reading my book, bikini, everything, nobody around me. These guys showed up. And I saw them coming, you know, I was still reading a book. I was like, they don't have any business with me. So I continue reading the book, right? Well, after a couple of minutes, they stood above me with the guns. Like, they really had those guns. And screaming at me, like, what are you doing here? Well, like, reading. Like, don't you know you cannot be on the beach? I'm like, on the beach? No, I just arrived yesterday. What's up? It turned out that the president of the country spoke to the people on television the day before. And because there was a national holiday coming, they were not supposed to go to the beach because of COVID. Now, of course, you couldn't find this online. So I still, my rational brain, I figured, you know what, I will explain, they will understand, they will let me go. They didn't. So I spent the whole day in a prison in Ghana with these guys and 20 to 30 other inmates, all other men. Local men and me in my summer dress in a very small space. So there were a lot of stories about fights and undressing. It was a pretty awesome start in Ghana, but I learned a couple of really great lessons there. First of all, money helps. Money got me out of prison. But also, it is a very important thing in Africa, as I'll tell you. So we know circular economy, kind of creative way of how we work in our resources. I'm not talking charities. I'm not talking, you know, green marketing programs. I'm talking real business models, sharing economy, extending life cycles, renewable energy has 1.8 trillion potential in the coming years only in Europe. Imagine the value it generates. But how are things in Africa, I thought? Well, actually pretty good. So this is me with my friends. She's starting a fund now, and our friend George. George is maybe the most visual entrepreneur I know. So many countries locally, also in Ghana, they have beautiful lands. but the most of the food is being imported. So it's very expensive, there's a tremendous footprint behind it, and it's a very, very bad quality, the food that they get, basically what we throw out. So George decided to change it and build, invest great tech, basically build irrigation system to a country where it's very close to Sahara, but they are doing it, they are growing stuff. So now he's looking for funds. So again, you can come with amazing business models, right? But you will need money and technology to do that. There's another story with another friend of mine. I will just stay here, just to give you an idea. This is a guy, I was famous in Ghana, of course, as the tourist who got arrested. So everybody knew me and talked to me. So the owner of the hotel also came and talked to me. And he said something, maybe it's similar to Ladislav was saying, like, you know what, I want to spend the next couple of years making money, and then I want to do sustainability. I'm like, why not now? And as life wants it, he's now starting a super cool project, which is basically his loves are plants, reforestation and biodiversity. It doesn't exist, right, in Ghana. So now he's building a park with a business model of restaurant, hotels, business center, entertainment, everything reused and recycled and renewable energy that is calculated to generate around 7 million revenue and over 500,000 profit based on the idea, just go and do the things. So I actually underestimated, not Ghana particularly, but doing business in a creative, innovative way that is good for many things work perfectly in Ghana too. So now tech is really cool, and this is different kind of tech. This is different kind of tech that we're listening here on Reflect. So this is, I always forget how to pronounce the first name, but it's in Accra, the capital. And what you're looking at is the biggest waste dump in the world, electronic waste. It's shipped from Europe, from America. And as you can see, there's not really a good way to deal with that. So it results in many diseases, from cancer, enormous impact on the environment and on the health, notwithstanding the social impact. Now, of course, the biggest problem are the biggest opportunities. So what happened with these? There was a guy, actually from the Netherlands, who came in from a company called Closing the Loop, who saw this, and he just started an NGO with only single goal to put the waste back to where it came from, to Europe. Now, there are a couple of sites that can actually properly recycle. But that would be our first step. Now, where the money comes in, like kind of NGO that is being transformed into business, we know, and also circular economy, there are precious metals in it. So they started to take out the precious metals. The third step was, well, actually, let's reuse some of the parts. And they started making telephones with reusable kind of parts. The last business model, which is amazing, is, so this guy has all these, mobile phones, and he's trying to get materials and parts out of that. On the other hand, so circular economy is about finding people, matching needs with what you have to offer. So he had precious metals, phones, and some kind of offsetting scheme to offer. Would you imagine that there are so many companies, very often in services, who just wants to work with him? So if a bank, I have an example of a Rabobank, but these are some Dutch banks. It's also ING Bank, that's a little bit more known. Dutch provinces, or Schiphol Airport, which is one of the biggest airports in the Netherlands. They closed the deal with him on his IT to basically pull the IT on his product from Africa, either reuse parts or offsetting schemes. So they would pay him to actually do the recycling, and they could put in their sustainability reports, we are offsetting. So there are amazing, amazing opportunities, business model driven on the biggest challenges. Lati has a different story, but I guess our message today is, my experience was sometimes you get overwhelmed by magnitude or the impact of what is happening. But if you really feel with all your heart, I want to go for this, you got to go for it, right? There are so many ways how to do. So my journey in Ghana, God, I stayed there for 2 months. I extended 3 times. So, the bad beginning, it taught me valuable lessons. But it's so precious, the people and the nature. But what impacted me the most were the biggest business opportunities I have seen. So what I would like to tell you again, if you have a thing that makes your heart beat faster, you got to go, and get your hands dirty. And it will take time, but you can do it. But believe me, if the price is spending day in prison, it will be totally worth it. So I hope you can take something out of this, and if you want to know more about this kind of business model, you can help me. And for now, thank you so much for listening in this heat, and have a great day.
A big round of applause for Eva. So we might have a few questions.
Hi.
Hello again.
Hi.
So, of course, you can go on the application Slido and you can either scan the code or use the Reflect Fest and you can ask your own questions. So, basically, until we get the first questions coming in, as far as I understood, you believe that the biggest challenges, they can be at the same time the biggest opportunities. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Of course. And I love that how we transitioned from the morning from the education part and now we're in the contribution part. And I believe that even like the previous speaker and you were talking about how we can contribute more and more. So what do you believe like we can do as individuals differently? Is there like any limitations that we need to overcome?
I guess it's just the simple point being true to ourselves. Remember when Latsi asked you who is lying to yourself? I was lying to myself those years in banking and I don't know what. I thought that it was really my calling, you know? That's what I was like, had a unique talent for and that's what I was supposed to do. It was only at the moment that I started to be honest with myself that I could get closer to what really is my calling and contribute. So I think our biggest limitation is just, you know, us. And hopefully, you know, with little steps, so it starts with little step, we can go and experiment, take the risk with little thing, and then you will see that it works. It always works. Then you can take bigger step, and then you can build a business or a foundation, anything, as long as you do something meaningful, I guess.
So the secret word is like meaningful. Always try to find something that is meaningful to give back, even like with small steps.
Yeah, and don't lie to yourself. Just be honest.
Yeah. So let's go to Katerina. Katerina asks, what made your heart beating faster in Ghana that became a base of staying there longer?
Yeah, the guns originally started, you know, with my heart beating faster. I think the opportunities. So we traveled a little bit, you know, with our friend George. He took us to the northern part of the country. As I told you, it's very close to Burkina Faso, which is basically Sahara already. And this guy, we were walking through acres and acres of land, and he's building irrigation from this one river that is there, which is dry in the summer, but still it has water in the winter. And he's giving people work, very old technology we probably have, but the difference that he makes, right? In countries like this, the tool to empowerment and change is money, give people work. And when you see stories like that, you know, I just couldn't go, you know, back to the Netherlands and live, you know, the same life. I just needed to see more. Yeah.
I understand. So let's go to our last question. That is gone. I think our time is up. Oh, we got the question back. So if someone wants to partner up with you and join your purpose, what would you say they could expect to do?
Oh, God.
It's a long list.
Yeah, we are a bit in business model transformation. So we started as a consulting company, and basically anybody with a pair of brains and dedication, you know, that's it. You know, I'm not looking as much for education. Could be, I have great education myself, you know, just to give you an idea, but I'm not looking for that because, you know, if you're really passionate and you have the skills, it's right people at the same place, that's a start. But we are a consulting agency, so technology, finance, and sustainability is super important. So with these skills, you would go and advise companies on what they should do. Now we are transforming a little bit more towards impact investing. So any investors here? I think Ladislav didn't mention it. Anybody of you who is investing in any way? So you may notice, right, money moves the world, and my main point is, well, let's move the big money, right? Let's don't talk about this small project. Let's talk about the biggest fund, the biggest pension funds, and let them see what they're investing into. So we are now kind of working on these frameworks for the big money company, investment company, just to make it very transparent what they're investing money, and if it's really the good cause. So these kind of things.